and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Johanna and I'm so happy you're here. Now, I know it's been a little while in between videos. I have just been so busy sharing upcycling and DIY projects over on TikTok and Instagram that I feel kind of sad that I've been neglecting my YouTube channel, but I am back with one of the most exciting projects ever. I am about to embark on a little renovation of this very, very old and dilapidated dollhouse. So let's rewind for a second and I'll explain how I got this. Back in December last year, I saw a girl called Abby on Instagram build a gingerbread dollhouse from scratch and I was obsessed. My kids absolutely love gingerbread men, and when I showed them her gingerbread dollhouse, they literally lost their minds. And I looked at them and I was like, you know what? I have got to make one for them. Now, I knew I didn't want to make one from scratch because I'm all about sustainability and upcycling. So I decided to take it upon myself to see if I could find one that I could renovate. For me, the most exciting thing about this dollhouse renovation is I'm actually partnering with RYOBI to get this done, which is so exciting because I'm going to be needing a lot of their tools in order for me to give this dollhouse a complete makeover. So how did I get this dollhouse? I jumped on Facebook Marketplace and I kept checking back for about 2 to 3 months to see if I could find one secondhand. And it wasn't until a very rainy day here in March earlier this year that I decided to go thrifting. It was an unusually cold and wet rainy day and I decided to go to a few of my favorite charity shops, and I went to a particular one. And one of the great things about shopping regularly at my local thrift stores is that I've become really good friends with a lot of the volunteers who work at them. Anyway, at this particular thrift store, one of the ladies asked me, and she's never asked me this, she asked me what I was looking for. And I said, well, actually, I'm looking for a dollhouse. She looked at me and she said, we might actually have one for you. I think for me, I was in a little bit of shock because I didn't know what I was looking for, but I knew there was something out there that would be perfect. In my mind, I was just thinking, there's no way it would be what I need. So anyway, she went upstairs and she was rummaging through their storage for about a good 10 minutes. And she came back downstairs and she invited me to go into their back end of house, essentially. I went in there and as soon as I saw this, I honestly, my first opinion, I didn't know what to think. It, as you can see, it's pretty dilapidated. There is so much paint. There was quite a bit of like cockroach poo and stuff inside and it's really dirty. I knelt down and I started looking at it closely and I noticed it had some really great bones. So the entire piece is made out of solid wood. It's got the cutest little arch windows and walkways. It's got 2 fireplaces and a chimney. She told me the story about it. Basically, they'd had it in the charity shop for about 2 to 3 years, and they would use it for certain times of the year to style little items in it. So for Easter, they would put little chickens and eggs for the kids to enjoy when they came into the shop. She was actually really hesitant because it's one of her favorite pieces and she's a bit of an OG at the charity store and she does all the styling. And she said to me that I could have it in one condition. And that condition is that I show her what I end up doing to the dollhouse. And obviously I was like, of course I would love to show you what I do to it. Like I would be even more than happy once I finish to put this back into the charity shop for people to enjoy, you know, at Christmas time. She had a good think and I could tell she was really struggling because she absolutely loved it. But she knows what I'm all about. She knows that I love upcycling. She knows that I'm very much into sustainability and breathing new life into old pieces. And she said, you know what, you can have it. And she gave it to me for $50, which I thought was a really great price. It is heavy, like, and it's really big. So I was so excited. Anyway, ever since then, I have been in a deep hole of miniature dollhouse worlds. I'm a little bit concerned. I think I might turn quite obsessive about this, but my goal is to have this completed for the kids for Christmas this year. Since I got this and to now, so for the last few months, I've been doing a ton of research on YouTube and Etsy. I have been researching wallpapers and floor treatments and color schemes, and I've been buying a few little pieces of furniture and decor. But because I like to be as sustainable as possible, I'm going to try and do this as sustainably as possible. So I've been thrifting fabrics, little like supplies, little pieces of wood. Just there's so much that I've been doing. and getting, and I'm actually really excited. So my plan for this dollhouse is obviously to turn it into a gingerbread dollhouse. So it's going to be a very Christmas centric dollhouse. Basically the first step is to clean and to try and get rid of as much paint as possible. Then I'm going to be working on the exterior. So that will be the gingerbread house part. Then I'm going to be working on, and I've been thinking about it logically, I think walls and floors first. Then I'll start thinking about furniture and decor. And obviously I want to add as many Christmas elements as possible. So I'm thinking little gingerbread man, Christmas tree, you know, wrapped gifts under the tree, rolls of wrapping paper. And in terms of the room layout, I've decided, and it's taken me a long time to get here, but I've just decided this is going to be the living room. And I'm going to have an ensuite bathroom here. I'm not too sure if I'll be able to fit in a bath or not, so I'll have to wait and see. So basically I'm going to create another little room here. This is going to be the kitchen. Then we've got our bedroom here, my studio. We've got Celeste's bedroom and Dusty's bedroom. Now, what I'm really excited about with this project is I'm totally going to involve the kids on a lot of the decision making. This is not something for me, this is actually something for them. So I've already discussed with them what they would like to see in their rooms. Celeste loves pink and green. She loves butterflies and she loves camping. So that's the theme I'm going with, is outdoors, camping, flowers, pinks and greens and butterflies. Dusty loves blue and red. He also really loves flowers, which is really cool. He's a bit of a nature boy. He's more inclined to play music and go surfing and play lots of games in his room. He loves ball games and he loves art. The rooms aren't going to be gender specific. They're going to be specific to what the kids actually love. Now with our bedroom, it's going to be pretty simple, just a bed and some other pieces of furniture. For my studio, I'm actually really excited because I am going to create some arched bookshelves, which I already have, and a few other things. The living room, I'm going to take key pieces from our living room, projects that I've upcycled, and I'm going to try and replicate that in this space. For the kitchen, I am going to use the secret room rule, which is where I'm going to create my dream kitchen that no one else would ever get to see until now. In terms of the overall theme, it's going to be very Christmas centric. It is a gingerbread dollhouse. However, in terms of tying it all together, I'm going hardcore cottage vibes. I just found when I was searching for wallpaper that I was constantly drawn to florals, florals, and florals. And when I started putting the wallpaper, you know, just positioning them in each room, I started noticing a few things. The first theme I noticed was that light colors are not my vibe. I really want strong, impactful floral wallpaper. Additionally, dollhouses are all about a scale. So something I learned very quickly is that you cannot have wallpaper in a dollhouse that has really big flowers on it. They have to be miniature, so the scale looks more realistic in the space. Additionally, all florals on all rooms on the walls looked better than some florals, some gingham and some polka dots. So that's why I'm just going to stick with all floral wallpaper. That's the plan so far. Now, with this project, it wouldn't be me unless I was trying to be as sustainable as possible. So obviously I'm going to need to buy a few pieces of decor and furniture brand new. I tried my best to find wallpaper that wasn't brand new, but I just wasn't having much luck. I even went to one of my favorite gift shops in Karoi and I bought some gift wrapping paper from them, and it was a gingham print, but when I popped it in the living room, it just sort of faded away into just like this one kind of white color. So unfortunately I couldn't use it, but I do have other plans to use it in the space anyway. So in terms of sustainability, I want to try and use as many secondhand materials as I can. So I've been going thrifting for fabrics, I've been collecting toilet rolls, I've been collecting bottle lids and lots of other bits and pieces that we would typically recycle at home. I've also been, you know, keeping like boxes from Mecca, so little cute boxes that I could potentially use for like a coffee table or a bedside table. So that's what I'm going to try and do and be as sustainable as possible and upcycle as much of it as I can. Now, the reason why I want to be as sustainable as possible is for the fact that dollhouses can get really expensive, particularly once you buy the paint, the wallpaper, the furniture can really add up. All the little pieces of decor, all the trimmings, the schemes, everything. So there is obviously that added benefit of being sustainable because it will obviously be more affordable. So I'm really keen to challenge myself to make as much furniture as possible. And I was doing a bit of research and I realized that a lot of the miniature OGs use two specific tools. A rotary station was one of them and a scroll saw. You can obviously use a hand saw if you don't have a scroll saw. So that's for cutting balsa wood and basswood. However, if you are cutting against the grain of those woods, it can break really easily, and a few of the ladies recommended a scroll saw. So I'm excited to dive in. I've never used one before, but I'm up for the challenge, and I'm very thankful to RYOBI for giving me one of these. There are a couple of big furniture pieces I want to create. One is my wavy library shelf, and I know this is going to be really handy for that. And another one is, well, I hope I can do it. I feel like I shouldn't say this out aloud just in case, but maybe I should. I'll put it out into the universe, but I want to make a wardrobe as well with little hinged doors. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I hope I can do it. Okay, so in terms of next steps, what I've decided to do is a series of videos that I'll be sharing here on YouTube. So today's video is very much an introduction to this upcycling project, this gingerbread dollhouse renovation, if you will. The next video will be out next month, and that's where I'm going to be looking after the exterior. So I've got a few ideas for the sides and the roof. My only thought that has really been sticking in the back of my mind is whether or not I'll create a facade. I feel like when it comes to gingerbread houses, the front is literally everything. So I need to have a think about whether or not I'm going to have a front with sort of two doors that open. I really want to talk to someone at RYOBI to see what they would recommend, especially in terms of hinges. So if I go ahead and do that, that's probably not something I'm going to do until the very end. Also with the exterior, I will be applying icing all over the exterior to create that gingerbread house effect. But again, that's not something I'm going to do until the very end. And Abby used, I think it was silicone to create the icing pattern on her gingerbread dollhouse, which I thought was so clever. So I'm going to do exactly the same. Now, after the exterior is done, I'm going to work on the walls and floors. It just seems logical to work on the walls and the floors next. From there, I want to work on the furniture and some lighting. And from there, I'm going to work on decor pieces. And then hopefully, maybe not 100% sure, the front of the gingerbread house. I've also been thinking about the sides here, whether or not I'll add some greenery. I think because it's a Christmas theme, a couple of Christmas trees or something Christmassy might be really good, but I just don't know. And I think that's the most exciting part. So basically, between now through till December, every month I will be sharing a new video documenting this entire process. I'll also be sharing Instagram reels, blog posts, basically just sharing the entire experience with you, including all the furniture that I make. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And if you've got any ideas for my gingerbread dollhouse, please do let me know in the comments as well. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss an episode in my gingerbread dollhouse renovation, because it is going to be quite the adventure.